Hey, Eliot here with ePark Fishing. Today we're going to take a look at how to organize your fishing gear. I've got all my stuff in boxes right now because I'm moving, and I figured what better time than now than to just go through it all, organize it, and make a video while I'm at it. So let's start out with the first box. So this type of plastic box doesn't travel as well. You can see how the hooks get kind of jumbled up. So I like to keep them flat. And then if I just need to grab some hooks for a fishing trip, I'll just reach in and grab, like, say I want to grab a sickle hook, I'll just grab one. So this is more for storage, more for storing your stuff and organizing. And that way, if I want to grab like one of my homemade lures, I can just put it in my other box to take with me. These plastic boxes are what I take with me in my fishing backpack. And they actually came with my backpack. It's the spider wire, and I'll show you guys that in a second. But this is my trout setup. I've got these Top Strike spinners that are really sweet, and I'm gonna drop a link in the description because I think anybody who's fishing for trout should have some of these. They're gold and silver, and they are awesome. So there you go. That's my trout box. And here's my bass and Rapala box. So I've got like chatterbaits, quick fish, some crankbaits, and some big Rapalas in here. So that is my bass box. And then I've got my salmon and steelhead jig box. And it's got some nice salmon spinners in here too. Got a bunch of these marabou jigs of all different colors. And these are really nice. A friend of mine made some of these for me, and they're supposed to be really good for salmon. So the next time I go salmon fishing, I'll be popping one of these guys. So those are my three trusty boxes for salmon and steelhead, bass, and trout. So this is what I travel with if I'm going on a fishing trip. The rest of these are all gonna go in my desk. So I'll show you guys where I put them. All right, so they're gonna go right down here. And the way I like to get these in there is I take the ones I use the least. So I've got my carp box, my empty box, and my wine corks. And those guys are gonna go in the back. So I can still get to them, but they're not getting in the way. Same with these, the wine corks in the carp rig box. And then I've got this box, which is just some random old lures and stuff. Never use that really, so put that to the back. All these boxes, I'm gonna just carry, try not to drop. And I'm gonna put all these boxes down here. So if I need to, I can open this guy up and grab some soft plastics. These three boxes are my traveling boxes, so they're gonna go right on the top. All right, so the next step is I wanna put my rods up here on this wall. I'm gonna take these ladder hangers. If I have one down here and one here, I can have the rods laying across. And I think that's gonna work pretty well. Let's go put them in here. The last one's always the biggest pain. So there you have it. I've got all my rods stowed away. I've got my spinning rods here, fly rods here, and they're both really accessible. And then I've got my extra rods up at the top. These heavy-duty screw-in ladder hangers are the way to go. You can fit a lot of rods in them, as you can see. And if you had even more rods, you could just add rows up, and you could store all your rods in a really small space. Since I don't have a huge garage, this is perfect for me. So if you want to stay organized while you're on the water, you've got to get a fishing backpack. I went the longest time with a regular backpack, and it was a total pain just digging through one giant compartment. These things are designed to hold your tackle boxes in the bottom, and I put my camera gear up at the top. So this is the spider wire fishing backpack. And just like I said, it's got this bottom compartment here. And in there is where I put my 3 tackle boxes. This one actually comes with these tackle boxes. And I've got my bass box, my spinner box, and my salmon and steelhead box. But you can put pretty much any tackle box in there. And that way I have a ton of different lures to choose from in the bottom. So then you've got your front compartment here. And I put like sunscreen and a headlamp, a compass, just all like my personal items. So then you've got this big upper compartment, and that's where I usually keep my camera stuff. So I'll keep like my lapel mic, my camera here with the camera bobber for underwater stuff, and batteries. Sometimes I'll just put some extra lures in here if I need to, but I like to keep it lighter because if it gets really heavy, then it's a pain to walk around with. So keep it pretty light in there. All right, so then you've got these side pockets, which are really handy. You can just keep any extra random gear that you want to have. So I've got like a super bright flashlight. I've got a stringer and a little tape measure, a little tiny tape measure. This is good because just in case you want to see if you got a trophy, keep a tape measure in the backpack. It'll go back in. So that's a handy little compartment. And then you've got your sunglasses case, which is really nice, little hard case. Oh, and it's also got this little smaller front compartment. And I keep my scale in there. So that way I always have a scale and a tape measure. Fishing backpack is key for organizing your stuff on the go. All right, so the last component to my little setup here is my fly tying stand. So I've got my vise, I've got my fly tying tools in here, and I've got all my fly tying materials in these boxes that just fit in here perfectly. I spent a bunch of time going through and putting all my different materials in these boxes so you can see them really well. These boxes are only like $4 at Walmart. So definitely that's the key to organizing your stuff, is just getting a bunch of these little plastic boxes and putting everything in a place. If you don't have a place for everything, then it's just gonna get piled up. So on a side note, I also have all my tech stuff in these little drawers. So I have like chargers for my batteries. I've got like different cables in each one of these little drawers. These are super handy. I found this at Habitat Restore for like $5 for this little hardware organizer. And I've got another one over here. So I've got like about 30 or 40 little trays, and some of them are empty, so I can still go through and add stuff in there. So yeah, this took a ton of work right here. You just got to go through and put in the effort. All right, now that I have all my gear in order, the only thing left to do is go fishing. I hope this inspired you in some way, and let me know if there was any particular tip that you found the most helpful, and I will see you in the next one.